Hello and welcome back to the channel, and of course welcome back to the gorgeous Lake District, where this video is actually going to be a little bit different to normal. I'm staying in Bhutan at the moment, and I'm actually here to do my mountain leader qualification. I'm actually just doing the training this week, and at a later date I'll do the assessment. But this video is going to be a bit different because I'm going to kind of have one video that focuses just on the whole week. And I've actually been out today. We started this morning, we had about 2 hours or so of kind of general chit chat, checking gear and stuff like that, making sure everyone was okay. And then we headed out on the fells and we headed up over towards Whiteless Pike. We didn't actually summit any of the peaks, but it was really nice just being out on the fell and really kind of honing skills, doing proper map reading, looking at really finite details, and also micro navigation, doing bearings and stuff like that, and how to actually kind of read the landscape, understanding that every kind of little knoll or depression or any real feature in the landscape can be used to help with navigation. So it's been really interesting, and the weather today was meant to be really quite crap, to be honest, but it was actually okay. It was a couple of very fine showers right in the start of the day, but other than that it's been just a bit windy and a gorgeous sort of autumnal day on the fells. And it's actually a really nice evening as well, but there are some weather fronts blowing in. You can see really high level cloud moving across, and tomorrow we're supposed to be doing like emergency procedures and rope work, and the weather is going to be absolutely appalling. Like, I think it's meant to be heavy rain from 10 o'clock in the morning right through till 5 p.m. So fingers crossed the weather isn't going to be quite that bad, but you never know. It probably is. But then after that, we've got quality mountain days for Wednesday and Thursday, and Wednesday's meant to be really sunny, so really looking forward to that day, just being outside all day, probably doing 15 or so miles, and yeah, just really enjoying the fells on a really nice day. Another day booked in for Thursday as a quality mountain day, and then Friday we're going up to do a wild camp, and apparently we're going to be doing it somewhere near Haystack, so you know, classic views down the valley, and then we'll be finishing around lunchtime on Saturday. So it's 6 days in total, and I just wanted to kind of document the week really, because I'm not going to be able to do proper videos because I'm going to be learning quite a lot as I'm here to do this course. So you'll see just sort of brief clips of each of the days. Tomorrow's day though, probably the minimal amount because of the appalling weather. Well, we've reached the end of day 3, so I didn't film a little piece of the camera yesterday because the weather was just absolutely appalling. It was raining pretty much all day right through till about 6 or 7 p.m, so it was dark by the time it actually did stop. But yesterday we focused on movement in steep terrain and leadership, sort of guiding people up certain areas, steep terrain, and kind of channeling and funding them in the directions that we want them to go to. And then also we did some rope work for a few hours as well, so really good to learn how to tie certain knots and effectively create like a belay using just a rope with no gear. I'm used to doing it with rock climbing gear, but it's been really good to kind of go through the rope work. And then today we actually did a QMD, so quality mountain day, only 8.5 kilometers in total, and it was up Haystacks. But what we did was very much so go off path. We went up towards Scarth Gap, but then we certainly turned off before Scarth Gap, and then went up, made our own route up the fell, up towards High Crag, not quite making it up towards the summit or anything, but then kind of coming down, traversing across in front of Seat, and then heading up towards the summit of Haystacks. And then we actually went down the other side, and then enjoyed a little spot just by Inanimate Tarn, and then did a little bit of nav practice around Blackbeck Tarn. We were told to kind of navigate to this certain point on the map, choosing our most sort of efficient route. So we navigated across to this little peak, which is unnamed. It's just a little kind of ring contour, but really nice view actually, overlooking Black Beghaus. And then we descended down a route that I didn't even know existed. So I wouldn't recommend this to people. It was incredibly steep, very exposed, but the outlet of Black Beghaus, there's actually a little path just alongside, and there was these fantastic waterfalls there. It was a really quite amazing gorge to start with. And then it got to this really exposed grassy ledge, and the ledge was literally, 6 or 8 inches across, and it was downsloped as well, and it was really quite an exposed area, of which, the reason why we went down this route was because that's kind of the top end of this qualification. It would be very difficult to safely kind of move people through that sort of terrain, and all of us kind of unanimously agreed that we probably wouldn't, because it felt too dangerous, even though it wasn't particularly rocky. It didn't require ropes or anything. It was just the exposure was just quite unnerving actually. And then when we got to the end of this path, which just stopped, we had to go down this enormous scree slope. So we scree skied all the way down, probably lost about 200 meters of elevation in less than 5 minutes, so that was cool. And joined the path into one scale just at the Infinity Pools, and then followed that back in towards Gatesgarth. So a really nice adventurous day out, and tomorrow I think we're going to be heading up towards kind of High Style area, Burtness Combe I think, and we're going to do some more rope work, and more leadership, kind of guiding people through longer sections. Really looking forward to it, and today was really great actually. It's now about 5 o'clock, 5:15, and we set out about 9:15, so we've been out pretty much all day, and it's going to get dark in about an hour, so I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Well, we have just finished our day 4 on our ML, and all week the weather today was supposed to be really good, and it was not. It was absolutely horrible. Pretty much fine drizzle all day, which you can cope with, but then just couple that with pretty bloody winds, maybe up to sort of 40 plus miles an hour at times. So yeah, weather-wise not that great, but it didn't put us off. We still started off at Gatesgarth. We went over towards Burtness Combe, and then we kind of scrambled, or we made our way up very steep terrain up towards High Crag. We've just bypassed right next to the summit, and then headed over towards High Style, and then we went down alongside Combe Crags, which it's certainly, I've never been up that way, up towards High Crag, and I've never been down from High Style direction down that Combe before, and it was really quite tough underfoot. So really exciting though. Very steep to start with. You would never even think to descend that way, but we found our way through the crags, zigzagging our way down. It was very steep to start with, which then eased out as it kind of turned into a scree. That was much easier to actually descend down the scree, and then we ended up in Burtness Combe, and we kind of nabbed our way down the valley, and then down to join the lakeside path and walked back towards Gatesgarth. So a really quite short day, 7.5 kilometres, probably a solid 600-700 metres of ascent, so a decent mountain day, but some absolutely epic scenery. Like Combe Crags were incredible, just jutting up into the sky with all the mist and the cloud around it was just awesome. We just focused solely on leadership techniques, in terms of like we were each taking in turns leading probably a 700 metre to a kilometre section. We just rotate our way around, and then sometimes we deliberately leave the path to choose more challenging terrain to then get practice and sort of helping people up more difficult, rockier terrain. And then we also did an awful lot of nav practice, because the visibility was probably 50 metres at maximum and cold in the wind and stuff, so getting bearings and doing some really intricate map reading has been really useful. So yeah, really excited about the final 2 days. So we've got the last 2 days is Friday and Saturday. We're doing an overnight wild camp. We don't know where it's going to be, but we're going to be doing, I guess, some nav practice getting up to our camp spot. Set up, I think we're going to have dinner and then potentially, depending on the weather, because I think it's meant to be quite nice tomorrow afternoon, so we're probably going to be doing some nighttime navigation, which will be very interesting. Never done anything like that before. Well, actually, no, a lie, I have. Did some nighttime nav when we did a bit of the Welsh 3000, so really excited about that. And then we'll descend down and probably be back for about lunchtime. So, yeah, a nice full-on day tomorrow as well.